Welcome to the beautiful Tamakoa Homestead, nestled at the foot of the Swartberg Mountains in the Klein Karoo in South Africa, where myself and my family are busy setting up this beautiful piece of land to be an absolutely incredible homestead. So today is something that revolves around my phone, my computer, and something that I've always wanted to do, but I've never known how to do. And that is, I've done something that I think is pretty insane, but I am incredibly proud of it at the same time. I have created, over the last 6 months, it's taken a lot of time, a lot of 2 o'clock in the morning sessions, but I've created a comprehensive homestead tracking app. It's not just a mobile app, it works on your desktop as well. So you can, for instance, make brief notes on your phone, you can then go to your desktop, you can do things in full over there. But what this is it's an application that has been built by a homesteader for homesteaders. And it's not just me that has inputted into this. I've had many people throughout the homesteading community contribute. They have been reviewing, they've been giving me ideas, we've been building in new modules. And this has ultimately turned into a homestead tracking app built by homesteaders for homesteaders, which for me is something that I'm very proud of, because it's not something that I've done just because I want to make money or I want to get known for something or anything like that. I've done this because there is a very clear need for it. I personally, on my homestead, where I have 1.6 hectares of space and a lot going on, I need something to document everything I'm doing. When were the fruit trees planted? When did they start getting chewed by locusts? When was first leaf drop? When was first bloom, final bloom, fruit set? At the moment, I mean, I could probably write it down on a few pieces of paper, but 5 years later, I've just lost all form of trends and analysis. And that's where this homestead tracker comes in. It allows you to store all of your own data in your own instance with your own unique user ID, so no data is leaked, shared. It's your app, your instance, you can tailor it. But ultimately, you can create an historic log of your entire homestead. And just to give you some idea of what this app covers, I'm going to read you some of I'll read you all of them that are currently in play. The first thing that I can tell you is it's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see, maybe it'll focus, but this is a login screen, and there, excuse my finger that I hit with the nail, is a guest login account. You can log in as a guest into the app and play around. It's a full access, free access version to the app. And you can check it out. You can put in your own dummy data. Obviously don't put in your own personal data because then others can see it. But before you sign up for this app, you can actually get a full play around in it. So I'm going to log in as a guest right now. Then what you get is a screen where you can do quick entries, quick journal entries, financial entries, garden harvest, orchard care logs. You can do daily egg collections, dairy records, gardening tasks. But if we have a look, we do a quick run through of the menu on the app. What we have is we've got a home screen where you can do quick access. You've got a homestead journal where you can do all your journal entries, you can do reflections. You've got goals, you can do annual goals, seasonal goals. Then you've got a financial module. Your financial module covers your cost tracker, income and expenses. And then you've also got a budget planner. Now, what is really cool about this specific module is it's completely integrated into the rest of the app, which is very unique. There are other homesteading apps out there, but none of them are integrated from all the different elements into something centralized like the cost tracker. So I can give you an example. You could be growing meat cows or meat rabbits or meat sheep whatever it is meat-wise. And every time you buy feed, you can, in the meat production module, add in feed costs, and that feed cost will carry through into your cost tracker module as an expense for feed. Then within the meat processing app, ultimately, at the end of the day, when you process that animal, it's going to pull your financials back and it's going to say how much you spent on that animal in cost per kilogram or cost per pound, which is so cool. So you got your financial module, and then you got your crop management module. And this thing's busy bumping around. I'll take my glasses, they're on my head. Then you have your crop management module, and crop management is pretty much what I'm doing now, sitting in the fruit orchard. You have garden management, crop planner, orchard management, and then a really awesome and integrated seed inventory. Now what you do is you can log all of your seeds in the seed inventory, and then when you go into your garden management or your crop planner, you can pull seeds from your seed inventory into those modules. So your garden planner, if you have pests, diseases, you're fertilizing, you're doing whatever, cool, you can pull those things through. When you're doing your crop planner, you can do your seasonal planning. So it's one form you would submit that has direct sowing, seeding, transplanting, and harvesting. And you can put in your months, and then those months go into dedicated monthly blocks. And you would then, at the end of the day, every month, it will naturally change the month you're in. So we would say we're in October right now. If I go into my crop planner, my October screen is going to say plant this, transplant that, direct seed that. And then if I go over to the harvest tab, I can check whether any of my crops should be harvested this month. So it gives you a full calendar view, plus there is a farm calendar, which is also fully integrated. You'll see there's a whole bunch of entries over there. So when I go into my crop planner and I'm busy planning when I should be seeding, transplanting, harvesting, all of that, then that all pulls through into my calendar, and I can go by month, week, day, and I can see what it is I should be doing. So if I 6 months ago scheduled my seeds to be planted this week or today, I'm going to see it in my farm calendar under my notifications. So really cool there, comprehensive crop management. We have food management, which is for me also pretty cool. You got a weekly meal planner, you can add in recipes, and then you got a pantry inventory where you can manage your full pantry. You can do like stock takes, there's so much you can do, but with your recipes, those pull through into your weekly meal planner. So when you create your planner, you can just click plus. You can either add in a quick recipe like cheesy toasty and tomato soup, or you can say add from recipe and your whole recipe list will come through. You can just click what you want and it'll go into your meal planner. Pretty cool once again. Then we have animal management, which is quite comprehensive, and we have egg production, meat production, dairy production. I think some people have been playing around with this and some of the stuff's been switched off. Yes, switching it back on. So what we have under animal management is egg production, egg incubation, dairy production, meat production, which is pretty cool. Your egg production is once again the same, where you have integrated cost management into the cost tracker, which ultimately at the end of the day brings you back to cost per egg. You got your daily harvests, you got your costs and expenses, and then you've got a running total of how much per egg you are spending, determining whether it's even worthwhile. Egg incubation by bird, by egg, by batch, like there's so much going on there. Dairy production, which you can get analytics on per cow, per breed, there's so much you can do. And then meat production, like I spoke to you about, which is also a really comprehensive module. Then, for those of you that are into bees, there is a full beekeeping module. And in here we have the apiary overview, hive management, hive inspections, queen management, honey harvests, and analytics. Pretty cool over there. And then we have a really valuable final module, which is operations, everything we need on the homestead. And there we're doing weather tracking. There is an automated API built into the weather tracking. So once you choose your location or you input your GPS coordinates, it will pick up your nearest weather station. and we'll do daily logging of your weather. And this is really, really cool. So there you'll see, I don't know if you can see really well, over there's a chart, and it's giving me my average high, average low, average wind speed, and total rainfall for the last however many time, whatever the time frame is, I'm filtering it by. I have it by all time now. So I can say, for instance, now, since I started tracking, the average high is 19.4 degrees Celsius, average low is 12.4, average wind is 23 kilometers an hour. Total of 3 millimeters of rain over the last 7 days. Also, fully automated. Then what we have is an equipment tracker where you can log costs, you can have maintenance schedules, servicing logs. Once again, all the expenses from equipment is logged directly into the cost tracker, so you don't need to double log entries. We have farm hands, so anyone that works with you, what is their contact details, what is their pay rate, their employment status, all of that stuff. And then you've got energy and sustainability. And with energy and sustainability, we're looking at energy in terms of sun, solar, all of that. We've got water, and we have firewood. So you can log exactly all your firewood harvests, when you did it, the stage of drying, are you using it, are you storing it, how much you use, how much you need to see you through winter, all of that stuff. And those are all of the modules. And then you've got your, like I said, your farm calendar and a feedback and support module where you can make recommendations. You can tell me what you want in this app that might be missing. Feature improvements, you can also log any bugs, anything that you find is not working or the way it should, or is not working at all. And then finally, you have a preferences page. And on this preferences page, you can make this homestead tracker your own. You can change the name of the app. You can set your temperature. You can set your currency. So when you're in the cost tracker, you can use US dollars, South African rands, Great British pound. You can do whatever you want, and all the costs throughout the app change to that currency. You can set your temperature settings to Fahrenheit or Celsius. What else can you do? You can do full data backups. So if you wanted to, you could schedule a monthly backup of all your data in the app. You can export that. You can export it as a JSON file, which you can upload into the app at a later stage should you want to. You can download it as CSV should you want to process it in Excel or anything like that. Then, very importantly, you have, which you might see all of these toggles over here. You can completely configure this app to your specific needs, which is really cool. You can toggle on and off every module. So if you don't have bees, click it off, it's going to disappear off your menu and you don't see the beekeeping module. If you don't have meat and dairy animals, switch off. Now suddenly your app is a lot more streamlined because you can't see your animals and you can't see your bees. And that you can do throughout the module list. And that's how you can really, really tailor this app to do exactly what you want it to do. I am incredibly blessed to have been able to do this. Look, considering the financial input involved in this, the time input, it has been 6 months of hard slogging. It has been a lot of mental energy that has gone into this because I've really tried to make this something that is impactful and valuable to you and to everybody in the homesteading community, because I know how hard homesteading is. And when you are doing year on year trying to remember things, and this year your fruits have all dropped off the tree and you have no logs to try and figure out why, it's incredibly frustrating. Where if you had an app where you log everything and your fruits drop, you can suddenly go into your weather tracker and you can compare your weather from this year to last year. You could have a look at your fruit orchard phrenology, and you can have a look at when was first bloom this year to last year. Actually, this year's first bloom was 3 weeks before last year, and we, in the log, had a light frost. That impacted and you can start remembering. Next year, you can have a bumper crop, and you could say, what happened is this was the first year looking at my logs, I did winter feeding of my trees using animal manures, just as an example, where you would need to remember that in 3 years' time when you're trying to figure out what your trees are doing well, not doing well. With the app, it's all here, and you click, 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 and you've got it. So I want to break this amazing news to you. You are the first to know. This is my first dedicated Homestead Tracker app video. I am going to do many more of these as and when I get requests to see more features. I have a website where you can have a look at all of this, and the website is going to have a dedicated page per module. And every page for every module is going to have a video that explains to you how to use that module and just generally how to navigate through it. So if you just head over to the website, you'll be able to get a full view of the app. And then with the guest account that you can just log into, it doesn't require any personal information. You don't need to hand over any information. For me, like I said, this is not about collecting data, making money, all of that stuff that businesses are after. I'm genuinely just trying to help the community. You can access all of that without needing to do much. So I hope you find value in this app. If you've got any questions, let me know. It is subscription based. It is incredibly low from a subscription based, and there are also two versions. There's a light version, which doesn't have all the bells and whistles. So it doesn't have bees and animals and dairy and all of that, but it's got gardening, your veggies, your fruits, so your orchard, chickens and weather, which is pretty much all a lot of people need. And that one is incredibly cheap. So there's a full version and a light version depending on your needs. And like I said, this is priced very much around affordability, knowing that homesteaders in general are trying to cut down their dependence on others and on systems and financials and all of that. So I'm very, very happy to make this announcement to you. I'm very happy that I'm at the point after 6 months of developing this that we can now make this announcement. And I'd love to hear what you think of that in the comments below. I know this was just a talking video. It wasn't necessarily a homesteading video, but I've got many, many of those in my repository, many more of those coming. So if you want to subscribe, please consider doing that. This journey is going to be incredible. And I hope this Homestead Tracker app is able to complement your own personal homesteading journey. So until next time, thank you for following. I hope you have an amazing journey and happy homesteading.